Welcome everyone to Jaydon's Jam. I'm your host Jaydon Goss, and today we're talking about The Rings of Power, Episode 3, Adar. Before I get into the episode, I just want to say like, subscribe, share, please comment, let me know what you think about the show. I'm a little terrified to review this show because I'm just seeing so much anger towards it and like a lot of just divisiveness, and I kind of don't want to invite that on my channel. I'd like everybody to just be nice to each other. So if we could be civil, I would appreciate that. I'm a little scared, but whatever. I'm enjoying this show. My experience with Lord of the Rings, just to add some context, because this is my first review of this show. I love Peter Jackson's trilogy. I've read like half of Fellowship of the Ring. Haven't read any of the other books, including The Hobbit. I've played a lot of the video games. That's pretty much my experience with Lord of the Rings. So if you're looking for somebody like steeped in the lore, I'm not your guy. Sorry. And going into that, I am very bad with the names and locations and all the factions that exist in this world, even though I watch Peter Jackson's trilogy at least once a year. So it just, I don't know, not a lot of it sticks. So yeah, just wanted to put that out there. I'm not your Tolkien expert. I wish I was. Maybe someday I will be. I definitely want to read the books, and I want to read the Silmarillion, at least before I die, at least one time. Because I've heard, obviously, it's probably the biggest fantasy trilogy of all time. So, and I know a lot of people love it. Anyways, this show, I've been a little mixed on it. I have enjoyed the production value. I have loved all the visual effects look really good. The world looks awesome. I love the decision to show the map as they move locations. That just helps my brain learn the locations. It helps me place where they are in the world, like actually physically place it instead of just giving me the name of the place they're at. I like seeing the map. So the production value is just insane. It looks like a movie. I think it's well directed. I think the only problem with the directing so far has just been the pacing and the writing. I think some of the story's not really grabbing me as much as I want it to. The characters are iffy. Like, again, not a lot to build off of for me, to grab onto, to hold onto so far. So those are my main issues, just pacing and just the story and characters aren't really there for me yet. So I'm hoping I'm going to stick with it till the end. So hopefully by the end of this first season, my tune will be changed and I'll be praising how great the show is. But so far, it's been a little mid for me. I do like some of the characters. It's just, I don't know. It's just not hooking me. I'm not getting hooked here, and that's a problem for me, honestly, as a fan of this franchise, as a fan of Lord of the Rings, because I would consider myself a casual fan. I do enjoy Lord of the Rings, and this is just it's mid. So, anyways, let's get into the actual episode itself. I loved, and I know it's a strong word, but I loved Arondir's storyline. Like, seeing the orcs, getting a look at what they're doing. Like, they're building a trench, obviously to stay out of the sun because the sun burns them. The sun hurts them. That makes sense. I am curious, like, are they building something else too? Or is it just trenches to stay out of the sun? I think they might have a bigger purpose than that. So we'll see if they have some big reveal. But I loved like the fact that the elves resist like cutting down the trees. They don't want to do that. That's hurting the earth. But the orcs are like, nah, fuck you, man. You gotta cut down these trees. So It's I know great criticism. Like that's I am a professional through and through, guys. But I love that all of that stuff. Like this was the first episode where I really cared about a Rondir and his friends. Again, a lot of the characters' names just have not clicked in my head yet, so I apologize because I don't know everybody's name. But a Rondir, so good. I really like him. Since the beginning, really, I like his storyline with uh, Theo's mom. I'm sorry, I know I'm saying Theo's mom, but I don't know her name off the top of my head. I'm still everybody's name still has to click in my head, but I do remember Theo's name because it's a simple name to remember. But I like his storyline with her, like they're in love with each other, and uh, so I've liked him since the beginning. So seeing him be prisoner and his friends die, like I really cared about them this episode. Uh, like when the orc offers them water and then at the last second he just slits that dude's throat. That was that was a great reveal. I mean, you knew something was gonna happen. There's no way the orcs are just gonna offer water to the elves. No, there's more to it than that. So it was cool. It was a nice twist. I like the twist. And then I love the shot of, you know, they break the chains. Seeing the I like seeing the acrobatics. That was cool. Like seeing them like flip around and like do that side move with the chains and using the chains as weapons. It was really cool. But I love the shot of when his friend makes it out and I mean, you knew he was going to die. You knew something was going to happen. They weren't going to make it out yet. They weren't going to get out of the shit yet. And then they make it. He's still holding on to the ledge. He's looking, and his friend just stops moving and turns around, and you see the arrows. I thought that was a great reveal. I love that shot. That was a great shot, and I just felt for Arondir. This whole episode, I felt for him. Just the despair of being prisoner and being forced to cut down these trees that the elves care so much about. And I love the fact that he lost and he basically took his anger out on the tree. You see, like when he starts cutting it, he has no choice but to do it. Uh, I love all that stuff. Like all that stuff worked for me. And seeing the blurry vision of Adar, great. Because I was thinking, we still don't have like a villain yet. We've seen orcs, but we haven't really gotten a villain. I know Sauron and Morgoth, they're like in the background, but we haven't really gotten a feel of like where are the villains here? Like where is like some kind of leadership, some kind of commander? So it's cool getting the tease of Adar, and that's what I'm most excited for. I'm most excited to finally get to see the villain, like a villain, I should say, because I'm he's definitely going to be a mini boss, and I'm wondering, is he Sauron or is he one of the Nazgul? Because that'd be a cool reveal too. But yeah, so I'm very curious to see that storyline. Like that's what I'm most excited for. And then getting into Nori, I loved. I have really liked the Stranger. There's mystery there. Very curious to see who he really is. Is he Gandalf? I don't think so. I think it's more likely that he could be Saruman. I don't know when he comes into the world though, so that might be completely off base because from what I've heard, it can't be or it shouldn't be Gandalf because Gandalf doesn't come to Middle Earth until later. But obviously, they're having to work with only having rights to the appendix of Return of the King. So, you know, they don't have the rights to the Silmarillion. So they're having to basically ignore all that and do their own storyline, which is why I kind of I do kind of sympathize with Tolkien fans because, you know, Dan and Dave, really fucked up Game of Thrones. Like, really just butchered those books by the end. Like, yeah, I'm not going to get into it, but I definitely sympathize with Tolkien fans here. But again, since I'm not like as attached to it, like I do love this world and I love the Peter Jackson trilogy, but and a lot of the video games, but I'm not as attached to this world. So for me as a casual fan of Lord of the Rings, my issues are not like that kind of stuff, like keeping to the source material. That's I'm not that guy. That's not me. It is me with Game of Thrones, but not me here. So yeah, I I really like The Stranger. Like I'm very curious to see who that is. I haven't really cared much about Nori though until this episode. Like seeing the memorial scene, I thought that was another really good scene. I really liked them going through all the names and when they get to Nori's friend, I didn't know she was an orphan, like she didn't have her parents were dead. That was really I thought that was really well done. Her acting and just the way they executed that scene because they finally did something with with Nori besides her just finding the stranger. That was good. I really liked that scene. I liked the ending where where the stranger he says friend. I thought that was another really good scene, and he's going to help them on their journey since her dad is injured. Uh, the Harfoots are really cool. I like that they are similar to the hobbits, but they're different. They're not the same. And I do like this kind of nomadic tribe, these people who have to migrate. I like that. I like that angle on it. So yeah, again, friend. I love that. It was nice. It was heartwarming. You know, I don't get a lot of heartwarming stuff in A Song of Ice and Fire, so it's nice that I can count on Lord of the Rings to give me some heartwarming moments, and I thought that was really well done. And I'm super curious to see like who the stranger is, where he goes. I do even if he's not Saruman or whatever, he doesn't have to be a character we know. And I kind of hope he's not, but I definitely think whatever it is, it's a dark omen, it's a dark origin. I think he's going to turn out to be a villain. Maybe he's got amnesia from falling, hitting his head, whatever. That'll be it'll be interesting to see who he is. So yeah. And then going on to Numenor and Galadriel and Halbrand, I loved seeing Numenor. Like, again, the production value of this show is amazing. Like, seeing Numenor, it was breathtaking. Like, it was beautiful. And, God, the set design on this show, the costuming on this show, the hair and makeup on this show, I think all of the technical aspects of this fantasy show should be applauded. Like, the amount of money that Amazon put into this show is just amazing. I just wish it was better. I wish it was more well executed story wise. But seeing Numenor, oh my god, it was beautiful. And I love like the Numenorian armor, like the guards have, like the golden armor. I think that they looked fucking cool with their spears. Like I love seeing that. Isn't Aragorn Numenorian, if I'm not mistaken? I don't remember. Again, I'm sorry guys, but all of the different locations and stuff just still and the factions and all the I know that there's humans and elves and I know that there's Harfoots or hobbits, whatever we want to call them. And I know that there are dwarves. Like I know the races, but all the factions and countries and kingdoms I'm still trying to get a hold of. But I've really liked Morfred. I think her name is Morfred Clark. I really do like her as Galadriel, and I like this angle of Galadriel being a warrior. I don't know if that's something they made up for the show or if that's something Tolkien wrote. Like I don't know if that's close to the source material, but I do like her being a warrior, and I think she's knocking it out of the park. I kind of want some more emotion from her, to be honest, like some a little bit more range. Um, like, sorry, it should be. I want the writing, like I want some more from her because so far, not I don't want to say she's been one note, but I just want to see some more with Galadriel in that way, like emotion and acting wise. But she's badass, so that's really cool. I always love seeing a strong female character. Uh, and then the one thing dealing with Galadriel this episode that I was like not super into was the slow motion horse riding scene. Like maybe that's all they had to work with, but her face just looked really weird. Like the I don't know. It was a cool effect slow motion wise, but like I don't know what it was. It just looked weird. I don't know. And Hallbrand, this was his episode to me. Like he was one of the standouts of this episode, and I like the kind of twist on Aragorn's story, but with him instead, where I think he's going to turn out to be villainous. I'm also wondering. There's a theory that maybe he's the Witch King of Agmar. I think he's probably definitely going to turn out to be a villain at least, and I think he could be a Nazgul. I don't know if he's going to be the Witch King, but I did like his storyline, him pickpocketing guys, and then the moment where he has that badass fight scene. I did when he snapped that dude's arm. It took me out for a second. I was like, holy shit! Like I did not expect to see that in a Lord of the Rings show. Like obviously there's violence in Lord of the Rings, but there's like a lot of blood in this episode. There's a lot of it wasn't gore. It didn't get too gory, but there was some like surface level gore in this, and that kind of surprised me a bit because I'm not used to seeing it. But that fight scene was really good. I liked the choreography, and he was a badass. And so I think obviously he has some rage, so I think there's definitely like a dark side to where he's going. I think at least. So yeah, I really enjoyed the Numenor stuff and the new character they introduced, Isildur's dad, which I recognized Isildur's name, and I was like, wait, who is that? So I had to look him up, and I was like, oh shit, that's the dude from um, the beginning of Fellowship when they explain what happened with the rings and all that. So wow, he's gonna have like a dark side, like he's gonna turn out to be one of the bad guys. So that's cool. But his dad, he was my favorite in this episode. I thought he was fantastic. And again, I don't have all the characters' names, so I apologize. I cannot remember his name for the life of me. But I thought he was awesome. I loved seeing, uh, like his look was really good. I liked the wig. The wig looks great. Uh, and I liked his relationship with Isildur and his daughter. And I liked that scene where he loses it for a second. He yells at his daughter. Like I always like characters who make mistakes and they're not perfect people. And obviously he's not like the perfect dad. And I like that. And that was a good scene. Obviously I don't like that he yelled at his daughter, but you know what I mean. Like some depth to the character. But I think he was the best part of the episode. Just and a great new character. Uh, Obviously, Theo and his mom weren't in this episode. I didn't really miss them. I did miss Elrond and Durin, though. I really wish they were in this episode, but it gave you a chance to introduce some new characters to the show. And I hope that Isildur's dad, sorry, I keep saying it, just seems like a really good warrior, and I want to see him get into some action, and I hope he sticks around because there's definitely it's cool. It's Galadriel has some romantic tension with two characters in this episode, so maybe they'll form like some kind of love triangle. Although that might be a little cliche, but hey, you never know. You need some romance on this show, so it'll be interesting to see which way she goes. I think she's probably gonna fall for Halbrand, and then he's gonna have the twist of being a bad guy. So she's gonna have her heart broken. Maybe that turns her to be a little bit more sinister. You know, her falling in love with a man makes her maybe see the good in men a little bit, and then he turns on her, and then she's back to not liking men, and by men I mean humans. Uh, not making it a gender thing. It's just what they call them as men. By the way, his name is Captain Elendil. Loved him. He was great. I just had to look him up. Played by Lloyd Owen. Yeah, great. Can't wait to see more of him, and I hope he sticks around for a while. Because, again, just a great new character. And then the Queen Regent. Not much. It's cool seeing like how much there's distrust between the men, and then when Galadriel comes in, she's like, the elves gave you this island, so, you know, you should probably just let me leave. Because we gave you this island, so you should respect me. Though I like that twist, and I'm just curious, like, are they gonna turn on her? Like, is there gonna be some reveal with the Queen Regent? Because there seemed to be something like she hates elves, or she's distrustful of elves. So obviously that's gonna come back. I kind of want more. I need more before I really have an opinion. It was okay so far, but I was just like a little confused. I kind of wanted more, a little bit more exposition from that. So yeah, love seeing, like, and the Southland. I connected. Numenor is an island where a lot of men live. All the like a race of men live. I think that's where Aragorn is descended from. And then you've got the Southlands, which is more men, and a lot of those humans sided with Morgoth. Got it. So it helps me connect everything. And yeah, so again, I think this is my favorite episode so far. A lot of stuff. We finally got some plot moving, some plot movement. We're halfway through the season next week, and still need more story, need more plot to happen, because so far it's been a lot of building and a lot of setup, and I'm just hoping more is going to happen. So yeah, that's my opinion. I am a little mixed on the show, but I'm liking it more than I'm not liking it, and I'm going to stick with it. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. If you like this video, please like it. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please leave a comment. Just be nice. That's all I ask. And that's it. Thanks, guys.